There are two brilliant choices when visiting sand islands in southeast Queensland. So today I'm going to do a deep dive in comparing Moreton Island versus Fraser Island and see which one is better suited for you to visit. This includes some pros and cons of each, the accommodation choices, how to get there and things to do. After visiting both these islands several times myself, you'll be interested in the differences, but if you want a quick comparison, I think Moreton Island is better for day trips and a popular snorkelling location like Tangalooma Wrecks. On the other hand, Fraser Island is UNESCO World Heritage listed, several unique attractions, but I think you need more time to see it. As a whole, I love visiting both, however there are some variations that can help you choose which one is best to consider visiting based on your group, budget, time and situation. But anything you can't find in the video today, I'll have a blog link below for more info. If you're basing yourself in Brisbane, then rest assured that you can easily travel to Moreton and Fraser Island. However, when you round it down to distance, Moreton Island is clearly the winner. Moreton Island lies 57 kilometres off the coast of Brisbane and takes 1.5 hours to ferry across. While Fraser Island requires travelling north either 240 kilometres to Rainbow Beach or 288 kilometres to Hervey Bay, then taking the 10 to 30 minute ferry across to the island. Gari or Fraser Island is the largest sand island in the world, at roughly 1,655 square kilometres in size. Not only that, but it contains one of the very few rainforests growing in sand. On the other hand, Moreton Island is 186 square kilometres in size and the third largest sand island in the world. Obviously, this is about 10% of the size of Gari, but that still doesn't mean it's an island you can walk around. The truth is, you can access both Moreton and Fraser with or without a four-wheel drive vehicle. However, without your four-wheel drive or a hire vehicle, it does come with some limitations. But please let me explore in more detail here. As a whole, there are two different ways to get to Moreton Island. There is a passenger catamaran leaving from Pinkenba in North Brisbane, which costs about $95 return for an adult. When you get to Moreton, it's only a short walk from the jetty when you're dropped off right at the resort. While you're there, you're limited to using the facilities of the Tangalooma Island Resort or walking 30 to 40 minutes down to explore the shipwrecks. You can also buy tour packages to include other things to do near the resort or take the tours they provide into the national park areas for sand tobogganing. On the other hand, there is a passenger and car ferry leaving from the Port of Brisbane, which starts at about $76 return per adult and starts from $110 one way for a vehicle. The drop-off point will be on the other side of the shipwrecks, away from the resort. From here, you'll either walk the beachside shores as a passenger, or you can purchase the $57.80 monthly permit to four-wheel drive yourself across the island, and use the camping sites for $7.25 per adult per night. In the end, there are options if you don't have your four-wheel drive or limited time or want help seeing the sites. Organised tours range in price from $110 to $250 per person and leave Brisbane almost every day to both these areas of Moreton Island. These vary in things to do from the snorkelling to kayaking the wrecks, exploring the island, or checking out the resort to see the wild dolphins that visit every night. As for Gari or Fraser Island, from Hervey Bay you can catch the passenger ferry from River Heads for $65 return and get dropped off at the island's jetty. For those staying at Kingfisher Bay Resort, they have a courtesy shuttle to drive you to reception and check-in. From here you're either limited to the resort facilities, organised tours around the island, or hiring a four-wheel drive vehicle from them to see the sights yourself. If you're camping on Fraser Island or stay anywhere else, you will definitely need a four-wheel drive vehicle. although you will have the option to travel on the barge from Rainbow Beach or Hervey Bay. From Rainbow Beach, you can drive your four-wheel drive to Inskip Point and catch the Manta Ray barge, which drops you at the southern tip of the beach of Fraser Island. This allows you to drive straight up the east coast to all the best sites, and from there you can reach your own accommodation and see the highlights in your own time. If you're bringing your own vehicle, the prices start from $130 return and go up to $260 return, depending if you're towing or catching it from Hervey Bay or Rainbow. Camping permits are the same cost as $7.25 per adult and $57.80 for 1 month access to the beach. Without a four-wheel drive or you have limited time, there are 1 and 2 day organised tours ranging from $110 to $500. These leave from Brisbane, Hervey Bay and Rainbow Beach. I honestly find the 1 day tours are extremely busy but doable in a short time. Otherwise, I ultimately recommend at least 2 days to see a few more sites with a little bit more of downtime. If you only have 1 day, then organised tours are available for Moreton and Fraser. While you're still limited to a few highlights and sites on the island, it is way more cost effective to see them. The downside to tours is that you will be rushed and be in the bus travelling for an extended part of the day. Ideally, I prefer at least 2 days or 1 night on either island. If you're planning to four-wheel drive yourself to Moreton Island or Fraser, I don't think 1 day is enough or worth it. The costs alone for permits and ferry transfers would be excessive and limit what you can see in that amount of time. Therefore, with your own car, I think 1 week is needed to spend on either. Yes, you can access both without a tour, but they can be limiting if you don't have your own four-wheel drive. Moreton Island's highlights are generally surrounding either the resort near the wrecks or the sand dunes. You can catch the first passenger ferry to Moreton in the morning, enjoy a full day of activities, or hanging out at the beach and depart on the last ferry home. However, know that the ferry drops at the wrecks does not have resort access, so if you're planning to go down there, then you'll need a free casual day pass booked online through the Tangalooma Island Resort before you arrive. If you have booked the ferry to the resort, then this already has the required access. Although without a tour or your own four-wheel drive, you won't be getting to the sand tobogganing dunes. On the other hand, Fraser Island's major highlights are contained within the rainforests, sand dunes and beaches covering this massive area. Sure, you could go and stay at Kingfisher Bay Resort and not see anything, but I really can't see the point of that. This is all a four-wheel drive only territory, so you either need a four-wheel drive, hire one, or take the tour to see the sights. Moreton Island has only the one resort, Tangalooma, plus all the different campgrounds and some private holiday homes at Bulwer. Whereas Fraser Island has Kingfisher Bay Resort on the west coast and Gari Beach Resort, which was formerly the Yurong Beach Resort, on the east coast. There are also private holiday homes listed on Airbnb and Booking.com and the numerous camping sites. While they are both sand islands, they have some very distinctive differences. Apart from swimming in the ocean or freshwater lakes, you can see and do some of the following activities. On Moreton Island, you have snorkeling or diving, the Tangalooma shipwrecks, wild dolphin feeding, parasailing, ATV tours and the sand dunes, sandboarding and exploring the sand dunes, helicopter flights, see the Cape Moreton Lighthouse, swim at Blue Lagoon, explore the World War II remnants, or climb to Five Hills Lookout. As for Gari or Fraser Island, you can explore the rainforest and the Valley of the Giant Trees, Wabi Creek swimming, Eli Creek freshwater swimming, the Pinnacles Rock Formation, the SS Mahino shipwreck, fixed-wing plane flights, swim in the Champagne pools, walk to the top of Indian Head, drive down 75 Mile Beach, Lake Mackenzie, or seeing an Australian dingo. Fraser Island does have a fuel station located at the general store beside the Gari Beach Resort. Moreton Island is very limited and you can get some fuel at Bulwa, but they only sell them in 20-litre drums and you have to ring before you go over to make sure they have it available. Either way, you'll be spending about $2 to $3 a litre to purchase. There are dingoes living on Fraser Island or Gari. They are predators and it's always best to be dingo safe. This means never leave children alone. If you see one, please keep your distance where possible. Otherwise, slowly back away from them and please never run away. Both of them have nice beaches, but if you're looking to swim and snorkel, then Moreton Island is the clear winner. Hundreds of tourists use the waters here every day or hang out on the beach. Unfortunately, Fraser has strong rips and a high risk of sharks that it's not recommended for swimming at the beach. But there are still plenty of places like champagne pools that are protected by the rocks for swimming. Otherwise, freshwater streams and lakes that you'll find most of the tourists taking advantage of, and even Lake Mackenzie is one of my favourite beaches in Australia. With a warm tropical climate, either island is good to visit at any time of year. However, the summer season from December to February will be hot and humid with higher rainfall, while the winter season from June to August will have beautiful sunny days, delightful weather, but colder waters. Most of the activities on either island will require some kind of swimming. In that case, I suggest visiting around the shoulder seasons like October, November, March and April. Yes, there is phone and data service on both. However, there are limitations or blank spots in the national park, camping areas and remote zones. While the SIM card provider won't matter too much, Telstra will have better availability. Most of your Wi-Fi and better access will be around the resorts and restaurants, and the Wi-Fi availability will mostly be for resort guests or at an extra charge. You can drink the water at the resorts on both Moreton and Fraser. However, it is best to boil the water in the camping areas beforehand or bring your own. Overall, Moreton and Fraser are both really great islands to visit, and you should have a brilliant time any which way you go. But please click here if you want to check out other islands in Queensland that we've been to. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you for the next one.